Hello everybody, hope you guys are enjoying your day. Today we're going to be looking at your two Clipper systems which are going to be moving through areas from the Midwest and through into northern New England, bringing quite a bit of snowfall on the order of about 3 to 6 inches over many areas over Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, even through upstate New York. You could be seeing a little bit of snowfall out of this. Now, this is going to be moving pretty much, it's going to be originating over the southern plains. It's going to transfer most of its energy to the north, and it's going to be kind of dragged along with this arm of moisture, which is going to be moving to the east, kind of like that. And it's going to be moving pretty much from Minnesota and Wisconsin, where that arm is going to really originate, and it's going to be moving to the east throughout areas into the northeast. And for the northern sections of that area, you will actually be dumping quite a bit of snowfall. Now, we'll start off here with your National Weather Service. Not very busy right now. All you have is winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories over California, Nevada, and then through into Oregon. All of those are higher elevations or the desert regions of Nevada, where it can actually get quite cold overnight. Now, that's because of the system that's currently offshore of California, and it's very deep. It's a very deep low pressure system, and it's going to be moving onshore, and it's going to be combining with this system out of Texas. It's going to be combining, and you're going to actually get quite a big system out here into the plains. You could actually get some snowfall on the northwestern side that could amount to about a foot or more. And again, I did talk about this actually on my March forecast. I did mention that you could see systems like this, and nonetheless, you are actually seeing a system quite like this. You see this when usually you get some north to south systems as we get into March and April, as well as in September and October, and as well into November, the early part of November, when it's still very warm, where you can actually still get some high pressures to build in, and your systems are going to move across and around that, and that's what brings those very intense systems north to south. And it's kind of like we saw last year. We actually had a late season, very, very strong system that dumped 3 or more feet of snowfall into areas into the plains. So you could actually see more of that come later on in March and April. We'll still have to see. Now, let's start with your surface analysis map from the Weather Prediction Center. You have this very broad low pressure system that's currently offshore into central Mexico. Now, it's currently right here. You also have this next low pressure system starting to develop kind of right around here, and these are going to both merge. You're going to get a little bit of severe weather to pop up over and around Texas and Oklahoma, but then as we continue to the north, you'll see it'll start moving to the northeast, attach with this northern part of the jet stream, and you'll actually get some moisture to develop, and you could see some snowfall out into the northeast. Now, let's look at what the GFS is producing as far as the storm system. You see a little bit of storminess over areas into the central United States. Now, this is your first system. This system is going to start off around the Kansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Arkansas area. Now, this is going to move out into the northeast. This looks to be more of a powerhouse system for the higher elevation systems, but as you see for our next system, this is going to be more of a lower elevation event for areas into Vermont and New Hampshire. It's not going to be all those higher elevation regions only seeing the snowfall. It's actually for the second Clipper system, you could call it. It's going to be moving more for areas into the lower elevations of Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine, and maybe even there into Massachusetts, Connecticut, and into central upstate New York. Now, that's your first system, and it departs. This would be by Tuesday night, so it would be coming into the northeast come about Tuesday morning, and then by Tuesday night, it's all said and done. So about a 12-hour or a 6 to 12-hour system. Now, here's your next system. This is going to be a bigger system. Here's your northern piece of the jet stream situated over areas into Minnesota, the UP of Michigan, Wisconsin, and then into south central Canada. You also have this moisture. You can tell by these lines here indicating where the air is flowing from. You see, it's flowing here from the Gulf of Mexico, which is indicating that you have some warm, moist air. So you could actually get some storminess as you get down into the south central United States and the southeast, and we'll talk about that more later on in the video. Now, This would be by Wednesday night, and you see a very heavy rainfall over areas come Thursday morning. Now, you see some snowfall breaking out over upstate New York through Vermont, a little bit there in Massachusetts, some higher elevation regions, and then into New Hampshire come Thursday morning. And now, as we get later on Thursday evening, or Thursday afternoon here, you're starting to see heavier snowfall just inland of the coast, and then getting through northern New England, and then you're seeing heavy rainfall surrounding that. This would be by Thursday and Thursday night, and now it's starting to move out. And then here's your big powerhouse system, which we'll talk about most likely in tomorrow's video. Don't think I'm gonna actually put out a snowfall forecast until probably 2 days from now, probably by Wednesday or Thursday, because this event is still about 84 hours from starting for this big powerhouse system. So for tomorrow's video, I'm just going to be going over a brief overview of the model forecast, and then probably by Wednesday, I'll have my actual forecast in terms of rainfall, snowfall, storm track, and all that. I'll have more of that as we come onto Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll probably update that all the way until we get until Friday, most likely. Now, here's what the European model is producing as far as the system. You see that system out in California, and that's your big powerhouse system. Here's your tinier system. You see some showers and all that going on over areas into the central United States. Most likely just some light drizzle, a little bit of storminess, again, through Oklahoma, Texas, and then maybe even stretching into Arkansas there. This would be by Tuesday morning, and you're starting to see a little bit of light snow breakout over upstate New York. This would be by Tuesday morning, and then as we get to Tuesday night, you're starting to see over Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, you're starting to see some snowfall, light to moderate, breaking out according to the European model. This would be by Tuesday night. Now, moving through Wednesday morning, it's pretty much all said and done, and then you're reloading. You got about a day to prepare. Wednesday, you're getting kind of as a rest day, or you can kind of get rid of all that snow on your driveway, and then you'll kind of get more snow as you get later on Wednesday night. You're starting to see more snow pile up through upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and this is going to be more of your stronger system. You're going to see your low pressure system situated somewhere over northern Virginia, and then into Maryland there. You're also seeing that low pressure, and then you're seeing that snowfall break out over Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. It's going to take a lot more to see snowfall as we get into later on in March and into April, as it's heating up, sun angles increasing, you're getting more daylight, and it's definitely going to be a lot harder to see snowfall as we get into April and March, of course, just because you are going to get that stronger sun angle, and that'll really help to eat away at any of your snow chances. Now, this would be by Thursday morning. Now we're getting into Thursday afternoon and night. You're starting to see it depart, and then there's your powerhouse system, which we'll talk about again come Tuesday, Wednesday, and maybe even into Thursday and Friday. Now, here's what the GFS is putting out in terms of snowfall totals, and the GFS is putting about anywhere in those green or those grays. You're seeing about a tenth of an inch to 2 inches of snowfall, 2 to 6 inches of snowfall in the blues, and then 6 to even 10 inches of snowfall in those purples, and that's over areas into northern upstate New York and into southern Vermont, and maybe even into northern Massachusetts there, where you could be seeing about 6 inches of snowfall according to the GFS, and the European also agrees, but the European has this a little bit further to the north and also has this a little bit stronger. Now, you see scattered 2 to 6 inches of snowfall anywhere in this blue, and then you see the GFS really tapers off those amounts as you get out into Maine and then into southeastern Canada, something that the European doesn't do. Here's what the European does, and it pretty much continues with that 2 to 6 inches all the way through northern Maine, and you see it's a little bit on the weaker side as you get into Vermont, upstate New York, southern New Hampshire, but as you get into Maine, it's much, much stronger with this snow event. Now, let's look at your Cape convective available potential energy, and this is going to indicate how much energy you actually have in the atmosphere. Now, this is going to really be important for supercell development and for your severe weather. Now, you do see a little bit of that, and you do actually have a couple of multi-celled tornadoes or multi-celled systems moving through. You did see a couple tornadoes through southwestern Texas yesterday, and that's going to continue through Monday, or this would be today, and then through Tuesday morning, you're starting to see more severe weather ramping up through Texas, and that's around 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram, and that's that's really a lot of energy when you're talking about severe weather. Usually you want about 500 to 1,000. Usually, if you want to see a really good thunderstorm, you're gonna want over 2,000. But for some decent thunderstorms, you want usually about 1,000 joules per kilogram or at least a little bit more for a good supercell. And you are actually seeing that over much of western Texas and then through into a little bit there of New Mexico. This would be by Tuesday morning, and now getting through Wednesday. Even where you guys get those grays, that's where you could potentially see a little bit of thunder with some severe weather there. Now this would be by Thursday, and you're starting to see start to move through with a little bit of severe weather, and this is with your big system that we'll be talking about more on tomorrow through Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe even on Friday. We'll still have to see. Now that is going to wrap up the video. Please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turn on notifications to never miss a video when I do upload. Anyways, guys, that was Eli, the weather guy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.